Video? Is it on? I mean, it's on YouTube.
What we've got now is an end of the process. Bless you,
Yeah, no. The old man, mate.
When I picked it up, it was just a pile of sand.
Did it just disintegrate?
When you looked on it, it was like, not too bad, like it was all. I'll have a look underneath, and as soon as I pulled it up, it was fucking sand. You know, got your job now, you.
I think. In the canoe, everyone talking at the minute. So stay away from them, you would stay away. Just talking to one of them mics, just 2 seconds, just say hello. No, not that one. The plugged in ones. Yeah. Now do the other one. Now do the other one. Yeah, Sam, we're on.
Mixing with someone to you.
He pulled this over to shoot myself and he pulled this over to me. What on earth do you think I'm going to do with that? He went to stand simple. Don't fucking wait for Oh, great. This doesn't work, it's my fault, this. Will you be the microphone one?
If I have to. No one else.
Save us some money. Save us some money.
That's it, that's a joke. Just for people who are having questions.
George, what else?
Yeah.
Went up at school. Penalty at the same time. That's what the goal was.
Great escape, we all know.
Do I have press anymore?
Oh, yeah. So what I'll do is, if there's anything he can't answer, he's going to make it at 8 o'clock. He's going to talk to everyone. I've got to go outside and speak to Phil Bowers.
Yeah, that's fine, mate,
Do
yeah.
I have press anymore?
No. Tom.
Just had it over. Does it not pick up everything when I'm on the road? you want to know.
You know, when you're ready, need to use these two. Yeah. Go again.
Hello everybody. Good evening. No, it's not. So late, all my notes for tonight are now no good. I don't know. Good evening everybody, welcome along. Evening Steve. You alright? Welcome along. We said when things were going bad, we were busy. When things were good, we were quiet. It's nice to see so many people, but I don't really like us losing every week and being bad. So there we go. Welcome along tonight. Thank you for coming. Just the agenda I've done is just completely gone to pot. Do you know what I mean?
Not got a clue.
It's like getting married and going to the wrong church. And maybe I should have done that when I got married, but I'm joking. Now no longer married. Right, so just a quick one for everybody. We talk about lots of things, but we've for those of you who haven't been receiving emails from us, we have been mentioning this. Our website got hacked, crashed, burned, went down. It's been a long process trying to get a new website, which we've got. We've secured the domain name, which is, I think, valesupporters.co.uk. We were talking to the guy who's building the website. Hopefully that's going to be up and running in the next couple of weeks. I didn't realise how much work goes into a website, colours, pages, photographs that you've got no claims on. So that hopefully will be up and running very, very soon. Just before we do my report, Phil, have you got a treasury report?
Just an update on this.
Yeah, do you want to go to the mic? Yeah. It's being streamed.
Yeah, just an update on the statue fund. It's now standing at 90,450. So we've got just less than 10 grand to go. This young man's just given me thick end of £1,000 as well, so that's 9 grand to go. 8 grand to go, I should say. That's it, basically. Okay.
Cheers. So, next thing on the agenda is, where's Dave? Where are you, Dave? He's over here. Come over here, Dave. Have the mic. We're going to give you an update on the statue. We're nearly there with that. We've now told the sculptor to start the build. We've got a big thing that's being built by a great company called Thrashers. We've got the build for outside. We know where the position is. Pardon? Thursday. Oh, Thursday. So Thursday are the company that are going to be building the I knew tonight was going to go back about 5 to 7. So it's going to be like an armature that they're going to build the clay round, and it works like that. I'm not technical. I went to Oldham Lane. Eddie taught me, so I'm not going to anything like that. But the armature is going to be there. The sculptor's got it all done. We've got one more payment to make to the sculptor, then he's all paid up. Just to tell you that I've been reading things about online tonight about Harry Kane statues this amount and that statue's that amount. Our statue's obviously bronze. Our statue is, the detail is far more intricate. It's far more, for me, I looked at the Harry Kane one and I think it looks a little bit like me when I was there. But there you go. But the other thing is, I read something about the sculptor. I just want to tell you, the sculptor has put so much stuff free into this to help us to raise money, and he's doing it at cost. Pardon? Well, that's the cost. And to be fair, when he quoted the cost, including the price rises of cost of living and everything else, it hasn't gone up at all. So he's done it for that. He's also done made things so that we can sell at cost and very reasonable, weren't they? Yeah. And so there you go. Also, thanks to the Reading fans who donated 9,000 and
well, it's been up to 10 grand.
nearly 10 grand. So there we go. Would have been perfect if they could have given us 3 points, but that didn't happen. So just a bit of an update on the statue, Dave.
Do I need both microphones?
Yes.
Oh, that's clever.
That's why I'm holding them.
Yeah, well, I think you've got. Can you hit me up with that? Yeah? Yeah, okay. I think you've got most of the pertinent information from Mark there. Yeah, we're sticking to the 100,000 target, and we are, as Phil just said, about 8,000 away. There's a number of things that are going to happen in the next few months, which will definitely get us to the 100,000. We've been supported at the last minute by Lench Builders, who are going to do the installation of the plinth on which the statue goes, and the surrounding area, which we've seen graphics of, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's going to be something really special. It's going to be out here on the car park at the Hamel end, very close to where the fan zone is, so a very appropriate area, and it's going to be clearly visible from Hamel Road. And the work that Lench are going to do, they're doing at a very, very competitive price for us, so that's really helped us. But we're sticking to that 100,000 target, because what we want to do when we unveil the statue, and that's planned for John's 80th birthday on the 21st of October, we want to have a very special day with some very special guests. You'll all be invited. We'll have some VIP areas to make it a very special day, especially for those people who've been instrumental in contributing to the statue fund. There's an event coming up very shortly in June. It's a slightly different event than the one I had planned, because we were planning, and some of you will probably remember us talking about the City Vale dinner that we were going to resurrect, which we thought was an appropriate, perhaps, conclusion to the events that we've done, the fundraising events that we've done for the statue. We were holding that at Keel Hall, and it was going to be 50-50 Stoke supporters and Vale supporters to celebrate the fact that John spent 19 years at the Vale, but he spent 14 years at Stoke. And that would be a way of resurrecting and starting off the City Vale dinner, which was done many years ago and then fell by the wayside. Is this microphone working?
There's a reason why.
Which one is it? That one's, yeah. Which one is working? I don't know. Can you hear me okay? I'll shout. Okay. Unfortunately, that City Vale dinner is now not going to take place. And the reason for that is the ceiling in the ballroom at Keel Hall, where we're going to do, has collapsed. Took a phone call from them and said, sorry, you can't do it, it's collapsed. And we couldn't get another venue. All the venues that would be of the size and the capability to host the 300 people that we anticipated to come to that dinner, they're all fully booked. We had some acts, particularly comedians, booked for that day. So what we're doing now is a fun night at the Vale, Friday the 7th of June. It's going to be called Just for Fun. There's 2 comedians, Nick Degg the poet, who you may be familiar with. He did the little poem, Walking Around the Ground, to promote season ticket sales last year. Yeah. very interesting guy. He's going to be there too. There's going to be a pea and pie supper. Yeah, we're going to have some fundraising on the night. We've got a raffle and we've got some good things to auction off. It's £25 a ticket. That's going to go on sale very soon, and the ticketing will be done through the club. We expect that will move us ever closer to the target, and then there's going to be a raffle of a maquette. You've probably seen the maquettes, the miniature bronze version of the statue, which are worth £4,000 or £5,000 each. We're going to raffle one of those off. And shall I mention names on the statue?
No.
No. I'm not going to mention that you can have your name on the statue for a fee which we haven't determined yet. No, we're still working with Lench. How are we going to do that? There's some very good ideas until we formulated those properly and we know exactly what we're going to do. But we hope to have a mechanism by where people can have their name associated with the statue. If we do that, it will probably be a separate thing from when the statue is unveiled, so we can have another little process afterwards where we can unveil the names. There's going to be a backdrop to the statue, the names will be on there, and we'll be able to do that. And I shouldn't have told them anyway, actually. He was kicking me profusely as I said all that, so you have to forget it all now. But that is what's going to happen. So. That's it. A lot of things I should have told you, and some that I shouldn't.
Tom, can you edit that?
You're going to find out sooner or later.
Yeah, we've been talking to the club and they're going to be sorting out the gates, etc. for it to be on there. So
I just think it's going to be really exposed out there for all sorts of reasons.
I think the plans that they've got for the Hamel, there will be some security on site. Matt will be able to tell us that, but there is plans for security on the Hamel Road car park. Yeah. Oh, you want to make comments?
Yeah.
You're going to tell us something else we should be saying?
Yeah. In answer to your question, the plinth is going to be 8 feet tall now, and the statue will be 8 feet tall. Yeah, it will be reasonably close to the wall over there, so it will be clearly visible from Hamel Road. Now, you might think that would be a security risk, but that was something that John definitely wanted, so that it would be visible.
Not a security risk.
Obviously, we weren't going to tell you where the bloody thing was going.
I haven't said where it's going.
Well, there's only one bloody wall. This is what Anton Decker looked like in 30 years, by the way. Which one are you? Oh, you're the one who's drunk. Anything else you want to tell? I know.
It's got the statue has to be clearly visible from Hamel Road, and that was something that John was adamant. Yeah, and we want that to be the case as well, because we want it to be seen. We don't want it to be hidden away. That's one of the problems with this Procyon statue. Yeah, it's a great statue, but you don't see the statue unless you buy the main entrance. Yeah, John needs to be visible from Hamel Road, and that is something that's definitely going to happen. So the security has to be slightly different, I accept. But that's going to be a very big statue, 8 foot length, 8 foot statue. It's going to be clearly visible, and that's something that we want. Definitely.
Sorry? He said he wants to be in the penalty area. Don't give that one away next for us, will you? Just another thing on the day we have booked the club for the opening, 21st of October.
Yeah.
So we booked the whole club. This microphone's about as bad as our defence. Right, it's back. It keeps switching off for a few minutes, that's all. So we booked the boardroom for John and his family. We booked the Robbie's bar for the VIPs that are coming up and John's guests. And we're going to put a story of the old statue. Which one favours?
I'm not saying anything else because
You're not?
no, I'm not saying anything.
You're not saying nothing else? Anyway, we're going to, in the Valiant Suite, we're going to put like the story of everything around so all fans can come on the day and have a look around, and it'll be, you know, for you guys as well as everything. It'll be a nice day. So that's the statue. It might not be going where he said.
Who's the VIPs coming?
It depends who Mark invites.
Yeah, not you. No, wait a minute. Yeah, we'll sort that out close to the day.
Anything else you'd like me not to tell them?
No. I bet you never did a sponsored silence, did you? No. Okay. Right. So.
Yeah, go and sit down, Matt. Down.
Yeah, go on. Thank you. Thank you, Dave. Dave's been instrumental.
Get the coat.
Can I tell the story about my phone call? Yeah, I'll tell you a story about the phone call. So, Dave's, I said to Dave, let's do the City Vale dinner. Once we finish the fundraising, the City Vale dinner used to raise money for good causes in the community. The fans from both clubs, ex-players used to come together. The money raised split half and half for the different charities. So I said, we can do one for the statue towards the end of it, and then we can leave that as a legacy going forward, City Vale dinner, and that could make some money for some great causes locally. Dave says, yeah. He says, you know a bit of Stoke? I went, I know Angela Smith. I said, so I can put you in touch with Angela Smith.
Do not tell this story.
Oh! Listen, after you've told where that's going, this story's coming.
Stop this now.
I'm going to finish it off, it's funny. Anyway, so I passed him over to Ange, not literally passed him, but gave Ange his number. They met up to talk about the City Vale dinner, and I forgot he was meeting her. And I'm driving along my car, and I had something come up about the statue, so I rang Dave, and he basically said, I'll have to ring you back, I'm just finishing off Angela. There we go. Was it a praise or a grumble? A grumble. So there you go. So thanks, Dave. Dave, to be fair, has raised absolutely, the dinners he's put on and that, been brilliant. So well done, Dave. Thank you so much. Just before we get Matt up, Matt's going to just have a little bit of a conversation with you. Then we'll take a few questions. Obviously, some questions he won't be able to answer, which is quite fair. Yeah, I've got the microphone there. Oh, the microphone.
If anyone's asking questions.
Oh, if anyone's asking questions, we've got the roving mic. Okay, I feel like swap shop. No haven't. Hey, equality, diversity. I'm only 28. No, I'm only joking. Okay, so just before I give you the update, I was going to do a chairs report tonight. I've given myself an hour to write it. I'm not going to read it because there's no point tonight. Because everything that's in it you already know, and you know, we're not going to do anything like that. So no, I can't. No, I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to give you an insight into why I wrote that statement. I just wanted to say that about Reading and about black and gold and about supporters. You see what Reading are going through with their owner, and that club's about to face oblivion if he doesn't sell it. He's tried to sell the training ground behind their backs. He's completely and utterly ruining that football club for their supporters. They're going through their challenges. You know, obviously they did what they did when we played them, but they donated £10,000, which is phenomenal. And football has an ownership problem. We look at the likes of Bury, we look at the likes of Macclesfield, you know, we've been in Torquay, Brentford, wherever they are, it's there, it's happened here twice. We've been in administration twice. Without the supporters of this football club, there wouldn't be a football club. Okay? That was without any shadow of any doubt. The people that were out when V2001 were here, the people that were out when Norman were here, incredible. You know, when we were in administration before V2001 took over, and when they went into administration after that, supporters were bringing food for the players down, and were instrumental in that. So, I think I just want to give you a bit of an insight into a lot of misconceptions that were online about the meeting that we had with the football club. I think it was the 3rd of March. Okay? So I read statements online that said the club hadn't picked 10 people to go in. No, they didn't. The club didn't know who was going in that meeting until the day of the meeting, and they didn't know the agenda of the meeting either. We went in, and I spoke to all the members of the committee supporters club to say, were they happy for me to go in and to talk to the owner about the frustrations of the supporters. And that was what it was. You know, I see messages on there about where's the minutes. Well, there are no minutes because we went into that meeting with a load of questions that it was a difficult night. The people who were there will tell you. We went in there to show support for the Shanahan family for what they've done for this football club, to go in there to talk about the accountability for the football performance, the role of the football director, the director of football, and that was a very, very fraught topic to talk about, and there were some frank conversations in there. Okay? There were key issues about supporters' voice in the club communications, the ticketing problems, and the matchday supporter facilities like the Portaloos, the disparity between corporate support and the supporters in the stands that have to go and queue up in the rain to get a pie and things like that. So we went in there to discuss those, because we listen to them all the time. There was no hidden agenda, there was no hidden itinerary for us to go in there. We didn't go in there to listen to music, have a cup of tea and just nod and say yes. We went in there to put your frustrations forward, because we wanted to open a clear dialogue with the football club, and we didn't want to be standing outside with black and gold scarves and banners and you know, that kind of thing again, because I can tell you now, and I think everybody who's in that room and anybody who's been involved in this last bit of process we've been through, I don't like the word process, I might say something. But I think what we wanted to do was open that dialogue with the football club. We've seen supporters fighting with supporters, arguing, online abuse, absolutely ridiculous. You know, I've had it. You know, I've had it. I've been called toxic, negative, and fueling all the rubbish in the stands for my own personal view. Okay, and I not on the supporters club. My own personal view was I thought the director of football should have gone because the football wasn't good enough, and that's my view. I'm allowed that view, but obviously this person who videoed me and then started to abuse me thought different. You've seen that abuse as well, haven't you, Paul?
Yeah.
You know, Paul's not running the coaches at the moment. We're hoping he does it again, because I think everyone will say that Dicko ran, you know, great coaches go away. When people come to me and say they've been coming to Port Vale for 70 years and they'll still buy a season ticket next year, but they're not going to come if somebody's still at the ground. You know, but they want to buy a season ticket to support the club. That shows to me the level of feeling towards different things, and shows me what the football supporters here are. Sometimes sitting here on this committee is a thankless task. You know, we and Matt will tell you, we go to the football club and we take everybody who complains to us about something, we take it to the football club. The lot, everything. Even if we don't think you're right, we'll take it to the football club. because we feel that it's the right thing to do. I think what we want is, we all want success on the pitch. There's some great work goes off the pitch, and there's some great work that the fans do as well. Game 2, the disability, health and well-being we've got going on. But I think the common denominator is we all want to move forward together. So that was why the meeting happened. Do I regret going into that meeting? No. Do I think that meeting was beneficial for the Vale? I think it was beneficial for Port Vale. I think it was beneficial for the supporters, because we, and Matt will tell you, me and the people who went in that meeting gave Carol and Patrick and Matt honest views, and a different view that they maybe hadn't seen or heard. So, contrary to what people have written, it was not a closed shop. It wasn't black and gold going in there with black and gold scarves ready to protest. It was to open dialogue to stop that happening, and to try and get some unity, and to try and help them to see things from what it's like to sit where we sit, which at the moment hasn't been brilliant, and I know the club will admit that. So that was what it was about. I'm going to be ringing the club tomorrow about the mics. So that was what it was about, it was just about you trusting us, because we were trying to do the right thing. So the next item was proposals and discussion from the floor concerning the current club situation and the direction of football. So we're not going to do that now. It's going off. It keeps going off. So he's come here tonight. So Matt's going to come forward. Matt's going to talk to you for a few minutes. I've just got to nip out for a few seconds. Dave, can you just take over till I come back? I'm just going to ring Angela. So Matsy is going to talk to you about. You have to keep slapping it. So. Because one's being live on stream.
Good evening, everybody. Well, I wanted to say something, and obviously I'm happy to take questions and stuff and everything else. So the news tonight, which is gone out, it is genuine coincidence that obviously I'm sitting here now off the back of the news tonight. I should have been, and Mark knows this as well. Just shout. Can you hear me or no? Yeah. Is that better? Yeah. Just go off in a minute anyway. There you go. I should have been in London, and the meeting got moved from it's normally the last Thursday of every month, so it should have been next week. Moved to 21st. I told Mark straight away I wasn't going to be able to be here on the 21st, neither could Carol, because the sports club had asked for someone obviously to be here with the current situation where we're at. We were supposed to be in London over the last 24 hours, and you now know why obviously that's changed, and I felt I needed to be here tonight, really, obviously, off the back of that, and making sure that you get the chance to ask any questions, because I know there'll be a few, I'm sure. What I will say is, for the club and for Carol, I won't say about the Shanahans in particular, Marshall said a little bit of it, but they make, from my experience, they make decisions that are best for Port Vale Football Club, and I've seen that since the day I arrived 15, 16 months ago, and this would have been difficult, but ultimately I've obviously been involved in conversations, but I know they have been, and Carol in particular, but the family, the way they operate, they make sure that it is the right decision. They would have done it thoroughly. I know there'll be questions about why now, I'm sure, but I know, knowing the Shanahans, they've listened, they've gone through every conversation that needed to. They've gone to anyone that they feel that has an opinion to be listened to, and then the decision's been made. Carol, again, trying to preempt some questions. It's Carol's decision, and I think that is important. So Carol's made the decision. Carol's delivered the decision. So it's and that again, is something I'm sure would be asked. In terms of where things go from here, it's obviously happened an hour ago or whatever it is now. The focus for the football club is Saturday, is Burton Albion. It is trying to make sure that we somehow give ourselves an opportunity of winning a football game. The ifs, buts, whys, maybes and everything else, the ifs, buts, maybes and everything else in terms of dissecting what's happened and how we got to this point will happen. I'm unfortunately not able to comment on that right now because those things are going to be happening too soon for any decision to be made. All I do know is Darren Moore has got the full support of everyone, and working with Darren Moore for a short period of time already, he is fully committed on a season now, but what's going to happen at Port Vale moving forward, and I know he's going to get that support from the room and everyone else associated to Port Vale. So that's, I think, I'm happy to take questions, and I'll say what I can, but obviously if I can't, I won't.
So, is there any questions from the floor?
Go on. Just wait for the mic for me.
Yeah. Just wait for the microphone.
You don't need a mic.
It's for the stream. It's for the stream. It's for the stream. It's for the stream. It's alright, I can hear.
Why did you leave it till February to sack Crosby? To me, if you've got the interest in a football club, you'd have sacked him early. You've got a manager who sent signed players in the window. I mean, you luckily got away with it with Asking. You sacked him and got Darryl Clark in after the window shut. And you got away with it that year after winning the National League. This year, you're not going to get away with it. So why did you leave it so late?
Look, I don't know. So there's plenty of time for me anyway. And this is, I'm in a position in the football club where can I influence? Yes, I can influence. Do I have the opinion? Yes, I have the opinion. But there's so much that goes on within the football club, on, off the pitch, and everything else in between, where conversations, decisions happen. Was it the right decision? Was it the wrong decision? We can debate that, of course we can. But for me, now's, and you might say it's a cop-out, politicians answer or whatever, but now's not the time for that. The time for the club to do that is at the end of this season, when we know where we are, when we know if we're in League One, League Two, and what was it, a good decision, a bad decision. For me, learn from the decision, and then what will be moving forward. So.
Yeah, but obviously, to me, other clubs sacked the manager and got somebody in so you can buy players, get players in. He's left it too late. You can't deny that. Get Darren Moore in, he's left with this pile of shit till the end of the season.
Next question, please.
You have to right. You were in on this meeting where you did why was the genuine shock?
Quiet, please.
Why?
Well, there wasn't.
Everyone's got eyes.
Yeah, there wasn't genuine shock.
That's what come out from the
no, there wasn't genuine shock. I've been, and again, people in the room, I've been listening, talking to not just the supporters club and not just people in those meetings. I've been listening, talking to people, lots of people I see in this room on a regular basis, and I'm not. There wasn't genuine shock. The feeling amongst the supporter base was there for everyone to see. It wasn't a shock at all. Once it's a shock, the actual understanding of what some of it meant to supporters, and how things ended up where they were and everything. were we having enough dialogue collectively as a club in terms of communication and understanding everything? Probably not, no. Yeah, the depth of the feeling, you're right, Dicko. Yeah, the depth of the feeling and the understanding, and that's something that we've agreed. I'm happy in here agreeing and committing that the way that we as a football club have encouraged supporter voice and ensured supporter voices is taken into account when decisions are made hasn't been correct. It hasn't been there. There hasn't been enough of it. That is changing. We've already had a conversation about how that may change and it will change ahead of next season. But there is also, being honest, there is decisions that the football club will make because the football club feels that it's the right decision for the football club, and not everyone is going to agree with that. We've had so many people that have agreed, disagreed about the timings of stuff, about who's in the building, who's out the building, who's away, who's not away, what should be done, what shouldn't be done. We have to listen to that, understand all of that, and base our decision making around it. But you're not always going to like it. But the fact of the matter is, the club hasn't listened enough collectively over a period of time to understand and then make their decisions, and we will. And that is, I'm saying that in front of everyone now because I think the people that I'm talking to a lot at the moment, this is again a lot of people, I'm hoping they're understanding and feeling that this is different, and I think we do understand that we need to be different. But.
Next question.
Hello. I've been coming to Port Vale for 48 years now, and I tell you what, I've come to the railway paddock, the facilities in the railway paddock are shit. Right? I'm not absolutely shit. And you've been like that for 48 years. What is going to be done with the railway paddock facilities?
Yeah, you will. So.
What do you think? I'm refereeing you.
Have you? Oh no.
I
ain't in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, who did?
I think I've set you up.
I was going to say quite a while. The facilities, and again we've had this discussion, and again this isn't a shock, and I think this is again where the club have prioritised in different ways, and the club have prioritised, and I've explained this to a number of people at times, prioritised certain areas of the ground to make sure that they can maximise income into the football club as well. Has that been balanced? Probably not. I think that you'll see over in the close season there will be the toilets are getting sorted, the toilets will be sorted. That is a given. We're looking at the facilities, we're looking at what we can do, and you will see some improvements. But and I've said it to a number of people, the club only have a certain amount of money, and we have to make sure that the decisions that the club make in terms of spending the money moving forward benefit the majority and everyone. And ultimately, what I've heard so much over the last 3 months of listening is we need to make, and you heard it from Mark straight at the start, it's the pitch really matters to Port Vale, and I think that's maybe got lost a little bit over the last however long, where I love the difference football makes to the community. That's why I got involved in football in the first place. That's what I love about Port Vale. It makes such a difference to the community and supporters. What I've realised in the last 3 months is it doesn't make as much difference when you're losing every week, and the feeling that in the stands isn't great, and the disconnect between the club and the players and then the supporters. So the focus, and it's definitely challenged, it's been challenged and it's changed, and that's right the way through. The focus needs to be on a team that represents you as Port Vale expects the teams to represent you. So
yeah, the thing about Port Vale is winning games, right? We don't care, or say the majority don't care if you spend £10,000 on the car park. We want a winning team.
Exactly.
we want a team that plays for Port Vale.
Yeah, and that's the the difficulty for the club, because it's you know, if we fully we've got to prioritise our money. There's going to be more consultation going on with supporters over the next few weeks anyway, around what you want to see in the close season, what you think we should be doing. But ultimately, there is this ground. It's an old ground. There's so much that needs doing to the ground, but everything costs money, and it costs money quickly. And we've got to make sure that the decisions are. But like what's happened recently now is it's the best decision for Port Vale Football Club. That's literally what I say to the staff every single day. What we're talking about every single day is we need to make sure the decision for the football club is in its best interest, and football on the pitch has to be number one of that. And I think it's maybe been a part of the number, whereas that needs to be number one. But
yeah, next question, please. If you have a question, can you put your hand up, and then we'll come to you in turn. At the back there, please.
Why is the club failed in the last 3 transfer windows to sign the quality of players that we as fans expect? Has it been financial, or has it been other reasons behind that?
Well, that's some of it. I've got the opinion on and everything, but I'm not in all of that. I don't know. You can talk all you want, some of you, but I don't know. I'm telling you the truth. So there's where the football's been is where the football's been. Has there been a tough time on the pitch, transfer windows, and everything else? You've seen the decision that's been made tonight, and that's, you know, there needs to be a review. There needs to be a new way of looking at football. There needs to be a review of the football performance and everything else that's gone with it. But that's for me. I can't answer that question. I literally can't answer that question. 2, it's not going to get answered tonight anyway. It's going to get answered as we move into the new season.
Yeah, but we don't want the new season. We want to stay in Division 1.
I do, and I think that the club does, and Carol does, and you know everyone at the football club does, and that's nobody wants relegation. I think that relegation for the football club, for so many different reasons, is awful. Like awful. It's no one wants it, and you know I'm not sitting here and saying I want relegation, because I 100% don't.
The thing is though, Mark, if we get relegated, and we can do another stop board, go all the way down.
Please remember that this is being streamed, so if you raise a point and you haven't got the microphone,
just have the mic for me, just so I can.
No,
the small mics on the stream.
The next question, please.
Just shout the question.
So Matt, I guess we've heard you say 3 times already this season that you know we need to improve communication.
Yeah.
I remember being at the very first supporter summit where we personally spoke about, the impact, the damage and the disconnect that the lack of communication has on the fans. And whilst communication perhaps wouldn't have affected where we are on the pitch, I would guess that it would certainly have improved where we are as a fan base at the moment. So I don't want to hear that we know we need to improve communication anymore. I want to know what you personally are going to do over this next 6-month period to improve that communication.
Yeah, no, you're right, and I am now in a position where it is on me to improve the communication. Now, we spoke, we are going to the Supporters Summit. We've got a meeting in a couple of weeks' time. That's been reviewed. I'm at every Supporters Club committee meeting. I'll be at every Supporters Club meeting when Mark asks me. I'm open and available in terms of our communication in front of people. We are looking at how we create voice into the football club in a more official capacity, in terms of not just voice into me, but into the board. So we've put in the chat over. this is really awkward because I don't know what people are leaving and what people are not when I'm talking.
Just shout, man, just shout.
So we're looking at the, and I feel like I need to be careful, I end up speaking in code again, and then you think, fucking, well, flipping ain't that, what you on but there's a commitment from me, and this is from me, that there is going to be representatives of our supporter base across the board, so not just the supporters club, from the supporter base, that will have a real regular dialogue with meaningful actions that will come with it, which will be open, that will go to everybody. That group, we're talking about, Mark's got his ideas, I've got some of mine, around where that goes, how that reports into the club. Because, and I'm not talking about social media at the moment, and there's a reason for that, because I think a lot of the communication breakdown is the lack of understanding that we've given to supporters about what's going on and what is actually happening. And that isn't social media posts, that isn't Facebook, Twitter, and whatever else. That's talking to people and having voices in the supporters, whether that's in all the stands, different types of supporters, age groups, everything else in between, knowing more about what we're doing in the club. And I'm committed to the chats and the talks I've spoken about, the meetings and the groups that we're going to set up, and hopefully there's and we've done it over the last, again, looking at people, we've done it over the last 6 weeks. I think there's there's already a change from or how I feel anyway, in terms of the communication between supporters. Now, from a social media point of view, we're looking at the moment, because we get as a club, we get battered for putting loads of stuff out for no reason, commenting for putting things out for an update with it that isn't an update, and then we get sort of criticised as well when we don't say anything. We have to get a balance right of that communication. Me and Carl spoke about this. My belief is the owners have been too accessible to everyone, which has meant that messages, or when there is a change in the communication from the owners, in particular, when it goes up, it goes down, it goes in between or whatever, there's straight away a feeling amongst the supporters that either Cal's not listening, or the club's not listening, or they only want to be seen when things are going well, we go hiding when it's not. I need to be that consistent voice. I want to be that consistent voice that is talking to supporters, telling supporters. Hence why I made sure I was here tonight. As much as I haven't been directly involved in the decision that's been made, I have an obligation, and my role is to make sure that we're talking to supporters and listening to supporters. But I'm trying to learn from other football clubs as well, because there's some that do really well, there's some that don't, and you learn just as much from the ones that don't, I guess, as the ones that do it well. But ones that I'm talking to, ones that do it successfully, those that do a lot more of this, because your voice is a lot more powerful than mine. So if you can get an understanding of the football club as a group, and you then go and chat to your friends and your family, and you then go and talk about it on a Saturday in the fan zone in the pub whenever you come to the game, that is how messages get out. That is how we create a togetherness, because it's actually real and it's being talked about. So we've got to become more real. Rich is here tonight, Ben's here tonight. We need to be more open and visible as a football club for these sorts of things, and I think we're already doing that. So well, there's kind of clear something off. Has David left the club, or just his role as director of football? He's left the club. So
one for me, Matt.
Yes, sorry, Dick, I know. Richie's right. The one, so all that's I suppose about talking, the one that we know we need to improve has been the website's not great, the ticketing and everything hasn't been great, the app side of stuff and everything. So from the start of next season, you're going to have a new ticketing provider, which is which isn't fully confirmed. We're virtually there. We've got a couple more conversations to have, but the experience when you're buying tickets, when you're wanting to come and watch the games will be a lot easier. But more than that, for me, the website and the app, there will be a Port Vale app, and there will be a new website that we're making sure is going to have much more information, up-to-date information, much more going on that will keep people fed with stuff regularly, which quite frankly at the moment I know doesn't happen, and that is a change, that is happening from the new season, without a shadow of a doubt. So that's the other thing.
Obviously Mr. Flitcroft's left his job tonight.
Not working.
Has Tommy Johnson gone as well?
No, not as far as I'm aware. Dave is the only one that I'm aware of.
Is he left or being sacked?
I wasn't in the conversation. Carol's in the conversation, but from what I know, it was a mutual conversation. Dave's gone with the blessing of Carol. I don't know the ins and outs. I know it's a mutual decision, is what I know.
Obviously, at the last fans forum, we heard that relegation wasn't in the vocabulary. It's looking like we're going there. What contingency plans are there for that outcome? Because in terms of finances that we've heard that are important to the football club, we're going to be back to square one when the Shanahans first took over the club. We're going to be a reliance on the die-hard people through thick and thin. There's obviously a lot of ground lost, so that will impact everything at the club in terms of finances. What contingency plans are?
No, good question. I think, again, Mark touched on it. I think I don't agree that we're going back to where we were in 2019, because we've got the Shanahans and the commitment of the Shanahans, and the owners that we've got are owners that all the clubs that Mark mentioned before, and a hell of a lot up and down the country at the moment, would absolutely die for, literally. And Carol, Kevin, from everything I've been in, their commitment's unwavering to the football club, financially more than anything, which is what we all need. We need and want a successful club that's here, of course winning games, but the stability and the commitment to the Shanahans gives me the confidence, and hopefully gives supporters the confidence that, God forbid, League Two, and he does, the odds are against us absolutely that we're going to stay up. I completely agree, but I know there's a commitment for the Shanahans to make that work. We don't want to be a League Two club. I don't believe Port Vale is a League Two club. So there's a commitment from the club that we've got to win football games. If we go down, we've got to win football games quickly. There's budget conversations and everything as you'd expect at the moment. League One and League Two. It is a financial hit. It's a financial hit that the club can take. But ultimately, the Shanahans have to bear the brunt of that hit, and they're clear on what they're able to commit to, and I know that is more than enough and some to make sure that we're competitive in League Two and or League One. So, but those conversations are obviously ongoing, and I'm hoping. Yes, we're absolutely reliant on. We're reliant on every supporter. We need old supporters, new supporters, family supporters, everyone. We literally need people to come and support the club, and we know that the club has to give you a team that you want to support, and a team that you can see is fighting for Port Vale. And I think that has definitely rang true with me anyway, over the last 3 months in particular, that we need a team that's Port Vale, that's valiant. That's the word I keep using. I want to see a team that's that, and we have to give you a team that's that, and that's the conversations that we're having now. And then win, lose or draw, because I think we all know football. You win some, you lose some, you draw some. Hopefully you win more than hopefully you win more than you lose. But it's a fact. You've then got to, as long as players are giving it all, and we give you a team that does that, then we'll see where we end up. But yeah, League 2 and League 1 are definitely being talked about, but it's not. It's disaster on a football pitch. It's not disaster for the club if we go into League 2. It's a real. Yeah, of course it is, and I absolutely appreciate that. But ultimately, the club, there's a lot of clubs that going into League 2 or anywhere else would be a disaster financially. We've got owners that it's going to be really tough, and we've got to make decisions. But there's a football club that's going to be strong in League 2, and that's part of my role. My role is to make sure that the club is strong across all areas.
Hello. Mine's probably not a football related question. But 3 years ago, the council said we have parking permits up our road. I literally live 3 doors up in Vale, and the amount of times that my driveway is blocked by a car, and I know it sounds stupid, but I tell you what, where a Port Vale standing on that?
So, again, appreciate totally where you're coming from with that. Unfortunately, Hamel Road is not our road, so we have absolutely zero influence of what fans, other people going into the park, where they park. So, just getting in that. I said, unfortunately, Hamel Road is not our road, it's a public road.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, the council sent out on behalf of Port Vale Football Club 3 years ago saying they were going to put permit holders only parking on all the streets.
Yeah, and again, completely understand where you're coming from. However, that's a council decision which we have got zero influence over. So, and again, that could be somebody coming in to watch the game from the away team, home team, or that could be just somebody going into the park on the same day, which we've got zero influence over. So unfortunately, that's nothing that we can help with.
Microphone.
No, it's down here now.
Yeah. And I can't get on my drive.
Yeah, again, unfortunately, we've got no influence.
Next question,
Please, thank you. No, it's not particularly a question as such. I just think it's something that we should understand. Over the last few months.
Please.
Something the room should really understand is over the last few months, despite doubts from everybody involved, Matt has actually been instrumental in getting our voices heard at the heart of the club. And we should all be quite appreciative of that. When we talk about communication, and he's here fronting up tonight after probably a very difficult day as well. But without Matt, I don't believe we'd have been heard. So thank you for that, Matt.
Needs to shout.
Yeah, go on.
Can you tell me why Port Vale Football Club wants to direct the football? Right? I've been a supporter here
since 1954. Every team I've supported at the Vale, and when you look on the pitch, it's the widest pitch in the country. We don't play wingers. His idea when he come in, we've got to play like Manchester City, we've got a back three and all this lot. If Smith, right, lived to be 90, he couldn't play that position. He can't pass the ball, save his life. But when you've got somebody like Colin Askin on one wing, you've got Guppy, you've got McCarthy, all these wingers up the Vale who were successful, and the pitch to do it in, no matter if it's a muddy or whatever, they do it. And we haven't got wingers. Then he says, we'll have fullbacks. We haven't had fullbacks all season. Not one. And we've gone through 3 transfer windows and still haven't bought a fullback. But Ryan locked up.
I'll give you that one.
Listen, I've seen worse than Ryan locked up the Vale.
Who's next? Who's got a question, please?
Shout your question. Shout your question.
Can we have it quiet, please? We're going to do about 3 or 4 more questions, and then what we'll do is Matt's going to stay around for a bit. If you want to come up and chat with him on your own. Yeah, no. Sorry. Right, so next question.
We talked about earlier about the season tickets for next season.
Yeah. Shout it.
Shout about season tickets for next season.
Yeah.
Nothing's come out. Usually have the early bird or the monthly payment plan come out by now. But nothing's been said. Especially if we stay up in League One, are they changing or are they two staying the same?
Yeah. No, well, we've been talking about it. Well, Rich in particular leads on that area, but you might want to add something in a minute, but naturally, and this goes back to the feeling amongst supporters, from a cash flow point of view, so from a football club point of view, the earlier we put season tickets on sale, the better. But ultimately, the decision for the football club at the moment was that there is the supporter feeling, where we were at on the pitch, what was going on, the conversations that we were all in. We have not felt that it was the right time at all to then be asking you as supporters to then commit again to next season, which has been a conscious decision. We've got the new ticketing system coming on board as well, which we're wanting to make sure is as right as possible, obviously, so it's smooth. I expect again. There'll be another discussion, I'm sure, either tomorrow or early next week. Now we know where, now this decision's been made in terms of does that change when we release our season tickets. We've looked at prices. We've still got a couple of different pricing models on season tickets at the moment, which again we'll be talking to Supporters Club and others around before that goes anyway. But there's been a lot for us to consider. And last year you could have said it might have been we're in a similar-ish position, I suppose, or in a worse position. But we went earlier because we felt we could. We haven't felt we can this time because of where we landed tonight, I guess. So that's the reason, the rationale why. There will still be early bird. There will still be opportunities for people to still get, their tickets at the cheapest possible price right the way through to going to the true full price from the start of the season. So all those things are going to happen still. It's just the windows will be different. Yeah.
Next question.
Can somebody just convey to the players that we know that we're not very good at the moment, but a lot of people in this room want to see fight. Something that goes on in your chest, something that hangs in your shorts, and there's two of them.
Not for me.
And also, touching on the subject of Ryan Loft, Erling Haaland would have an hard job on this pitch because the guy gets no service and he gets loads of flack. If you all got behind Ryan Loft and gave him let's try and build him up.
What a load of bollocks. What a load of bollocks that is.
Again, Harvey, thanks for your words, because at the end of the day, and I know you've got your opinion over there, at the end of the day, he's a person, and I think...
He's not good enough.
If he better be fucking you on the pitch.
And again,
I don't get paid professional footballer. He's not good enough.
You don't get
end of the day,
not good enough.
Seen him. You don't know wages.
You're losing a room.
Guys, listen up. Please. We'll answer the question. We'll take one more, okay?
The answer to your question is what was the question? Yeah, the badge, yeah, the fight, and I think got to be really careful of saying this because everything at the moment is the players need to give you something for you to support, and I've not played as a professional level, but even at a non-league level, when your confidence is low and you feel like you're coming and you've lost confidence, and that's where our players are at. I've spoken to a number of them. They are in a place where, for lots of different reasons, and you can say they're not good enough, you can say whatever, but they've lost so much confidence. I thought the fans on Saturday were really good. I thought as a group of supporters, I thought you were really, really good. What I would say is, from now till the end of the season, just try and give them as much as you can. And I'm pushing with them, and I'm using Mark as well. So we're going to be pushing the players to understand what it means to support Vale fans, because I don't think we've done that. I don't think we've done it enough, and it's trying to get that across to them is really important. But
all the money the club spends on the infrastructure, I mean, we've got more people in the back room now than we've ever had at this football club. I mean, the programme, there's lists of people that do different jobs. Have we considered bringing a psychologist in?
They're using them at the moment, so they have got someone the mental side of the game. Richard touches on it, and without going, we don't need to go into all of because Mark's felt it and the others have, where the social media and having an opinion is fine, and I think it's really good to have opinions. Thinking if certain players go, certain players isn't an opinion on stuff. When it starts getting, and this is where we've had to really work with the players in terms of where they're at, because they read everything. That's what players are like. They read everything on social media, they read everything that they get done, everything that gets sent to them, and some of that really starts to affect them. And that's where, and I've had it personally, I've come off now for a bit because I'm getting direct messages. I know it's no one in this room, but direct messages that are just not constructive and really nasty. And if when people start talking about why you're doing it, and your family, and you're thinking, hang on, it's Richard's point, person. Completely off topic, I know now, but I just think that is important to remember that we need as a football club, like we say for communication and everything, we've got to make sure we are giving you what you want, and I think that's somehow got lost along the way in terms of how that's communicated. We've got to pull that back so we have a football club from the players to the manager to the staff to the supporters and then the ownership that feels connected, and that is all I want over the next period of time, to get that back where that's why I joined Vale. That's literally why I joined Vale, because Carol's ownership and what Carol's about, and I've seen lots of videos from when she first bought the club, I've seen lots of things that I've been sent over the last few weeks, and Carol hasn't changed her view. I think what's happened is, for whatever reason, things have, and I haven't been here for a long period of that, things have got lost completely, and we have to drag it back collectively. And you don't do that by digging people out. You don't do that being nasty, hiding behind a keyboard and smashing something at somebody. I think it's cowardly. I think it's really disrespectful, and I think it's not helpful to anyone. What everyone needs to do is like this: front stuff up, chat about it, have honest and frank conversations, and then it moves the club forward, which means it moves individuals forward, which means it helps the team, which means we might win a few more football games. And I know it's not as simple as that, but we've got to connect the club, and that is the only drive that I have now. Connect the club, make decisions that are in the best interest of Port Vale, and if I can play my small part in that, which starts with, what doesn't start, it starts with doing all of this all the time. We all play a part, and don't underestimate the part that every single person plays, and that's what I felt from all of my involvement in football. Every single person plays a part in a team winning a football game. Every single person.
Why isn't Carol leave tonight?
You go to London.
But also, why? Oh, I don't know. But why should Carol be here tonight?
To answer the question, you go.
Why? That's not like Carol has, and Carol will, but Carol doesn't. Carol pays people. Carol pays me. Carol pays a group of staff to make decisions and to be here and answer questions. I told Carol not to come, so I'm more than happy saying that. I advise and tell her I can't tell her to do anything. Because it's not helping for Carol. Why should Carol sit here as the owner of the football club, who is making decisions that are for the best interest of the football club, that is, putting millions of pounds into the football club for the best interest of everybody and everything. And then, and again, going back to, she pays people to then go and be accountable for that. And I'm doing that, others are doing that. We need a football club. The club's changing, the structure's changing, we are changing, and Carol shouldn't have to be at all of these things. I really don't think she should. And
So you're waiting for the relegation, that's what you're saying?
How I said that? Tell me how I said that. Just tell me how I said that.
You don't want to be... Yes, that's what he said. Because I don't want to... I
Okay, right. So, just to let you all know, we're going to call the meeting now, because we said we'd do till 8:45, it's 8:45. Just on the point of the social media abuse, just please, if you do see something, reporting, because we've seen some stuff that have been online the last few days, absolutely unbelievable. So, and it's not nice, it's not good, it's not clever, and let's hope that we can get results on Saturday. For me, today's news is really positive, and I think today's news is like having two players. It's going to give us a lot of positivity, so you never know. Let's see what happens Saturday, and let's, on Friday, Good Friday, let's see if we get behind it and push things on. Thanks for coming. Sorry our agenda was a bit to cock, but we didn't know that was coming out at 7 o'clock. But thank you, and let's hope we get results Saturday, Good Friday, and then we'll rise again Monday and get out that bottom four. There you go. Good night.